All right, here for the first time on the Snide Show, I booked our first interview, setting the stage for our segments, hoping, well, to have many more to come. But what an interview this will be! Today we have for the first time and hopefully not the last, uh, Esjay Jones of We Are Pigs. So
What is
welcome.
up?
Uh,
Thank you for having me. I'm so stoked. What an honor to be your first guest.
well, we're super excited and so glad that when we reached out, we were like, maybe. And then I got the yes, and I was like, "Ooh, this is gonna be fun." Because
Totally.
I had heard the cover that you did of Duality first, and I'd always been kind of distanced with covers, especially with bands that I'm like super into, which obviously. But then I heard it, and I was like, "Oh, this is instantaneously one of my favorite covers of all time."
Wow. Man, that's crazy. Thank you. It's always like a little bit risky to to kind of put your own spin on a cover, especially when the song is so established and one of the greatest songs ever written, in my very humble opinion. But, I kind of feel a part of the fun of being a creative is to put your spin on something. So just throwing it out there. Corey Taylor probably hates it, but well, who knows?
I mean, in my opinion, as good as it sounds, and like the pure power in it, with the blending of the obvious the new metal with the more techno side of it. I mean, I just the whole thing I thought was brand new, but at the same time holding on to the elements of the original song, which I absolutely love when it comes
Yeah,
to covers.
totally. Awesome. Well, thank you. That means a lot.
All right, so we'll go ahead and get into that first question I got here. So, of course, I did my research going into the interview, but to try and get our viewers up to speed here, um, I'm sure you get asked these questions all the time, so I'm sorry.
It's
But at
so
the
good, man. That's what we're here for.
which I appreciate, how humble you are with all this because this is just amazing still for me. What we really were curious about, and I'd heard it in the other interview that I listened to get ready for this. But when did you actually come to the States?
um, I moved to the States around September of 2009. And specifically, I moved to San Diego. So went straight from Durban, South Africa to San Diego. So I've been here for this will be like my 11th year, going on 12 years, somewhere around there.
So how does it differ between because it was South Africa to basically one of the biggest metropolitan areas. So what was that like?
Uh, I mean, America is just bigger and better at everything. It's like when I left South Africa, there was no such thing as like a drive-through Starbucks and I'm sure there must be a drive-through Starbucks by now. I mean, maybe there isn't. I don't know. But it was just America is so far, and in the eyes of the world, when you aren't from America, the US is just so uh, far, like so much further forward than any other country. It's kind of like, if you're in the entertainment industry or the music industry, it's like this is the place to be, or at least that's what is sold to the rest of the world.
Yeah. I mean, I get that the way everything's kind of like just
Right.
um. And I was actually thinking about that when I was listening because one of the other things that I was thinking about was the how you have to come up from like it was talking about the tiers of music, or I guess fame, fortune, and you were talking about, and then that brought me back to like the bands that you saw back in the '70s and '80s that were coming out of like Britain or England, and it's almost like there was a transition from that from the English side of it to becoming the American blow up. Yeah, I mean if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. I mean, In South Africa, I think we were musically we were fed more of what was happening in the UK music charts. Um, but I think that America is sort of the leader of what the world sees as the standard of what's happening in music.
Yeah, I can totally see that. Which I think, for me, because there's a lot of saturation, especially in like rock or hip hop, where there's just so much of it, but at the same time, there's almost a lack of quality in it, and I think
Yeah,
that's because people are trying to fit into that mold,
totally.
and you've got to have a uniqueness about it for it to actually work, which is one of the things that I absolutely loved about the music that I heard coming out of you. I
Oh,
mean,
thanks, man.
I went back and, like I said, I heard the "We Are Pig" stuff, and then I went back and then I listened to the Love Jones and the music that you done prior to that, which was I thought was
Old
awesome.
school.
Uh, so for me though, it's brand new because I hadn't heard it, and I was like, how could I not have heard this? Like this is insane to me. But I mean, I'm glad we
Oh,
came across
thanks.
it, and
That's cool.
so, but so you started out doing like the music side before you got into production, right?
Yep.
So what was the transition like going from doing the application to the production side of it?
I mean, I feel like it was a very organic flow. You know, coming from playing in a band in South Africa, we did Stealing Love Jones did two full length records with with one of South Africa's biggest producers at the time called David Birch. And so I learned a lot from him, and I guess him and I kind of produced the first record together. So without even knowing, I was already producing stuff from back then. So it's been a very natural and a very organic transition. And I think um, playing in a band for so long and being on the creative side and understanding, being interested in the engineering side and has really given me an edge. You know, that I think a lot of producers don't have now. A lot of producers are just beat makers or um, just love music, but they
Mm-hmm.
haven't played in a band. They haven't toured the world. They haven't slept on floors. They haven't, like, you know, freaking been in a tiny car stuffed with all your gear, traveling the entire country. So I think it's been it's the flow has been very natural, and it's been really nice to kind of go back and forth between the two.
So you got the balance going. Do you think you found a pretty good medium for it?
Yeah, man. It's I love to perform. It's I've been playing in bands since I was 12 years old. I've got this crazy video that my mom sent me the other day. I was like, "Oh my gosh, how did you find this?" It was like I was like 12 playing in my the first battle of the bands, like me
Oh
and
man,
the my band at the moment. The band was called Tweak. Um, and it's
sweet.
just it was so cool to see it. So I feel like performing is in my blood, and I can't really give it up. So as much as I love and am dedicated to the production side of stuff, I think I'll always somehow like put out music or do some performance stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's awesome, but I mean I also agree. I think that if you're going to be looking for talent, you have to have that talent to find that talent, and especially to build upon that talent. And
Totally.
like with a lot of the visuals, especially from like the music videos that I've seen thus far, um, I really love the way that it's set up. But see, for me, I love like that '90s throwback to new metal. Like that whole imagery is just awesome, and I think you nailed that, especially with the music video that came out for Duality, and even with I even love the Pulse Queen the graphic that's in that. I mean, I just think that whole thing is really cool, you know. So I mean, with the artistic flow and all that, I think that is a big part of the production side as well. So I
Totally.
mean, going into that, what would what would you say your like approach to the uh the art side of it be?
For We Are Pigs.
Yeah, yeah, so, yeah. I suppose I should have been a little more. So I'm
Um,
still just like mind blown. So I'm trying to get my thoughts all
no,
put
you're doing
together
so
here.
great, man. So We Are Pigs is a concept project and a concept album. I've been in the music industry for like over 20 years full time now, and I think this project was born out of the ashes of like of honestly just sitting idly by for years while I watch record labels, A&Rs, business people, whoever it is, tell artists like how they should be doing their art. And I just feel like there's been an authenticity and a sincerity that's been lost in music that I'm hearing today. Like everything just
Hmm.
feels so contrived, if that's the word.
Yeah.
It feels like it just feels really fake, for a lack of a better word, and like all of this just it hasn't sat right with me, and uh, you know as I've been trying to build my career, I've never said anything out of fear of retribution for being like, oh, the label's done this or the A&R's done this, and I kind of just feel it at this point. It's I'm old enough to be able to purge and cleanse those feelings, and this is what I'm doing with We Are Pigs. um the This project and these songs, they just feel right to me. It's very organic. It's exactly who I am. It feels right in my gut. And like I don't really care if somebody that has A&R in their business card is into it or not. It's like I really don't care. Like this project is for us. This
Y-
project is for me, and like that's the thing, is like, if you don't like it, don't listen. I don't care.
Yeah, and see that's definitely what I get from it, and that's one of the things I absolutely love about it is it's the attitude that's behind that art, and it's just for me it's perfect. I just absolutely love that, and I feel like
Thanks.
that's what creates the realism, and I really honestly would love to see more bands take that attitude as opposed to worry about, well, there's this that I have to do. I have to come up with this many music videos, and it has to represent this or represent that, as opposed to, well, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm gonna do.
Totally.
And
Totally, man. It's just like everything is so sceney, and I think like social media has made everything so false and so sceney. It's like, girls have to be like, I don't know, like it's it's unobtainable how social media wants us to look. And I'm
oh
just
yeah,
like, I'm just like, fuck it. I just want to rock out with my boys. Like that's the vibe, and come hang out. Like, and I really don't care about my fake eyelashes or whatever else I got going on. Like, I just want to make music I love and feel great about it. So that's the vibe, and I love it. So I'm really glad that you do too.
well, thank you for giving it to us. I appreciate it.
I can't wait for you guys to hear. We've got I've got this cover of The Red by Chevelle.
Chevelle, yeah.
Yeah, coming out on the 12th of March, and it's pretty freaking brutal. I can't lie. It's like, I have a feeling the Chevelle guys won't like it, but I love it. It makes me want to like rip my face off. Um,
See, I already know
and
that I'm gonna love that.
I'm so excited for you to hear it. I'll after this I'll send you the sneak peek of it, as long as you don't share it. But
Absolutely not.
but but I'm super stoked about it. And then on the 16th of April, which I'm really excited about, I am doing we are releasing a collaboration with Morgan Lander from the band Kitty.
Oh,
And
Kitty.
that song is even more brutal. So it's been so cool because it's like I get to fulfill. I love heavy music, man. It's like I really do. It does something to like every cell in my body like pops.
Oh yeah.
So it's being able to fulfill this style of music with my melodies and my lyrics with my production with people that I love and that I have such a mad respect for. Like, I mean, the Kitty Girls, like, could you get more badass than that? Like, they were like 16 years old,
Yeah,
like
I know.
selling 6 million units. Like, what badasses? So, so the track is awesome. I can't wait for you to hear it. You're gonna freak out.
I believe it, and I can't wait. Like, this whole experience so far has just been so. I
Hell
mean,
yeah.
as nervous as I am, and as like I don't know, almost comfortable at the same time. It's I'm just excited in general, and I
Me
really can't
too.
wait.
Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. We're so chill.
I do try though. I try to be cool if I can. Um, so what's it like working with these other people in this industry?
uh, every artist is different. And I honestly, I've had really, really positive experiences working with all of these guys. Um, my really good friend Kristen Davis from the band Grey Days, which is the project that Chester Bennington was working on just before he passed. He always says making music with someone is an exercise in trust, and I think that applies to everyone that I've had the opportunity to work with, because it's really your vibe and how comfortable people feel with you. And I think it's really when you just are who you are. I think you make people really comfortable, and the vibes flow. So so yeah, it really is just that human connection thing. And I've had a great experience with all these guys and girls, whoever I've worked with.
Yeah, because well, when I was reading the different like collaborations that you've done and that you are gearing up to work with, I was like, man, this is wild. Because especially like Alien Ant Farm, that, and they did one of my favorite covers too. Of course, the Michael Jackson cover, Smooth
So
Criminal,
rad.
and I was just like, whoa, man, this is gonna be something else. And then you just mentioned Kitty. I'm just thinking, how can it get better? How is that
Yeah,
even possible? And then it does.
it's kind of crazy because I this this project, like a lot of people are always like, oh, you don't want this just to be like this feature project, but it's for me, this isn't a feature project. It's a collaboration of making music with people that have been my heroes and heroines. So I guess this is kind of like my really selfish, like once this album's done, like I can die happy.
Right.
I just need to get like I need to get Brandon Boyd, Fred Durst, Alanis Morissette,
There you go.
Shirley Manson, and then I'll be good.
And I honestly, it's like the way you're headed. I could totally see that happening. I mean,
I hope so, man.
and then I couldn't wait to hear what would come from it because I love all of those names.
Yeah, me too.
So like, my style being the '90s, you bring up especially names like Alanis Morissette, which I think it's funny because I get that a lot. Like You would listen to Alanis Morissette? I was like, have you not heard Alanis Morissette?
Right?
But I mean, but she's. Do you not hear that anger? Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
That's totally metal. What do you mean?
totally. I think there's a lot of, I always say, uh, that people's best work comes from when they're unhappy,
Yeah,
and I think like that Jagged Little Pill and Under Rug Swept, like those the supposed former infatuation junkie record. That the supposed former infatuation junkie record is probably my favorite. It's got a really interesting like trip hoppy kind of production to it, um, and just like brutal lyrics. And I think it's just really cool and inspiring just to see a woman be so strong in vulnerability. It's like, I'm just going to air out all my dirty laundry. And if you don't like it, well, fuck you. So it's kind
exactly.
of cool. I dig it.
See, and I do too. That there's what I was listening to as well in that other interview. You were saying, a lot of record labels and producers they want men, but then you've got artists like you, like Alanis Morissette, like Amy Lee of Evanescence, who I feel like can project the same as male. It's just I'm not sure why they don't see that, but I definitely can feel that if nothing else.
I think it's like a lot to do with a confidence thing. I think, uh, like automatically in my head, and what society has told me is that I naturally wouldn't gravitate towards having a woman engineer and produce my record, because I've been taught that that's what men do. So it's like, it's that whole like what's being bred into us kind of thing. But I think there's a change happening, and it really is confidence, being able to walk in and be like, I can do this just as well as you can, and let me sit down and handle the session and show you. So and it's been really cool. I've been given the opportunity to do that, and I'm going to be producing the new Grey Days record. We go into the studio on the 29th of March. So yeah, it's really cool that the industry's mind is changing, and being open to whoever producing a record. It's cool.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it's awesome. I mean, I don't know what my opinion matters to too many people at this point yet, but that is my opinion. I think it's great.
Thanks, my dude.
So I think this will have to conclude. I mean, I could continue going on probably for the next, lifetime here, but I think it's about time for us to cut it and put our plugs. So,
Well, this has been so awesome chatting with you. I really appreciate you reaching out, and thank you so much for your positivity and your love of this project, because it's people like you that make me think that I'm not insane. So thank you.
well, you're absolutely welcome, and we absolutely appreciate what you're doing. So, as long as you're making music, I can promise you, I'm gonna keep listening to it, and
Amazing.
and I'm gonna share it with anyone and everyone who will listen to me.
Please do. And when are you airing this?
Uh, this will be this one will be airing this Friday. So
Well,
I'll make sure to get your
maybe.
plugs and all that in there.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, I was going to say, maybe, what is the date this Friday?
This Friday, I think it's the 26th.
26. How about how about you guys air the red for the first time ever on my cover? Can you do that? Can you play music on the podcast?
Oh, we can do that.
Okay, perfect.
Absolutely.
perfect. I'll send it to you guys, and you guys can be the first to share the song.
Wow, that just
Yeah,
took.
I think you'll like it.
I know I'll like it, and I think you just totally blew my mind. Uh, Completely blew my expectations out of the water here.
Well, my I collaborated on this track with my good buddy Stay Metal Ray. He's like an amazing YouTube guitarist, and influencer. And I literally like I hit him up on Instagram. I started following him, and I was like, "Hey, do you want to do a cover song, like just for fun?" And so we put this one together.
Well, thank you so much. Thank
It is
you,
my pleasure. I'm looking forward to listening, and thank you for your love. And I'll chat to you guys really soon.
everybody
Okay,
else.
bye guys. Woo!